Kraken Home Ice is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
The Kraken and the New Jersey Devils getting ready to wrap up their season series. Larson shoots, scores! The big cat on the prowl, Adam Larson. Zips it down low, Kakko in front, Shane Wright scores! Shane Wright in front on the power play.
The Seattle Kraken kick off a 5-game road swing as they take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. They chase the game again, but not now. There's the answer. You can pick up the phone. It's Eli Tolvanen. Tolvanen with a bullet. His second goal tonight. The Kraken's 5-game road swing continues on a chilly Saturday afternoon here in Buffalo, New York. Evans with a shot. They score! Riker Evans finds a way to leak it through Luukkonen. Kakko, his bid, scores a bullet. Corner McKenna in front, they score! Kakko, it's a power play goal.
The Kraken are officially halfway through the regular season. They played in Buffalo today. They take on the Red Wings tomorrow in Detroit. And they're hoping for some success on this 5-game trip after some close games at home. Welcome to another edition of Kraken Home Ice. In tonight's episode, we're hearing from center Jaden Schwartz about being one of the team's silent leaders and how he uses past team experiences as motivation. Head coach Dan Bylsma joins us from the road to discuss Kaapo Kakko's success and what it's been like balancing the team's injuries. And in her first season, assistant coach Jessica Campbell is starting new traditions with the fans.
The Kraken snapped their losing streak in Buffalo. Today was a big win for the team. They got off to a rough start with the Sabres leading in the first period 2-0. Then the Kraken kicked it up a notch in the second. Chandler Stevenson with the pass to Riker Evans, who finds the back of the net, getting the Kraken on the board. They followed that up with Andrei Burakovsky getting the rebound for Josh Mahura, tying the game at 2-2. Then it was a Kraken scoring frenzy from there. Oliver Bjorkstrand gets the go-ahead goal for the Kraken on a scramble in front of the net, 3:08 into the third period. Kaapo Kakko scored 38 seconds later and added another on a power play. The Kraken finish it off with Brandon Tanev adding an empty netter as the Kraken win it 6-2, snapping their 4-game losing streak.
Playoff hockey for us right now. We're trying to win as many games, collect as many points as we can. It doesn't really matter who we're playing. Just trying to keep distractions away and just trying to focus on us.
On Thursday, the Kraken opened their 5-game road trip in Columbus. Kraken started the game strong with some good chances in the first period. Eli Tolvanen fires a rocket to get the Kraken on the board, and that locks it up at 1-1. But that was followed by 4 more Blue Jackets goals, at which point, for the first time this season, the Kraken make a goalie change. Philip Grubauer out for Joey Decord. The Kraken get one back midway through the third. Great pass from Chandler Stevenson to Tolvanen for his second goal of the game. That was the end of the Kraken goals for the night. Columbus goes on to hand the Kraken their 4th straight loss, 6-2.
On Wednesday, ahead of the road trip, the Kraken placed Daniel Sprong on waivers. Thursday, he cleared waivers and was reassigned to the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Sprong played for the Kraken during the 2021 through the 2023 seasons, then returned to the team on November 8th in a trade with the Canucks. At the halfway point of the season, Sprong has played a combined 19 games for both Seattle and Vancouver. In his 10 games played with the Kraken, Sprong had 2 points. Monday's game against the New Jersey Devils was game number 41, marking the halfway point of the season. New Jersey took the lead in the first, but the Kraken answer back. Chandler Stevenson feeds the big cat, and Adam Larson buries it. It's 1-1 after the first period. The Kraken begin the third period with some great passing. On a power play, Kaapo Kakko finds Shane Wright, and Wright scores to tie the game at 2-2. But just 30 seconds later, the Devils regain the lead. Andre Palat goes top shelf, and the Devils win it 3-2. It's never too late to start playing your best hockey. That's a lesson Jaden Schwartz learned 6 years ago with his Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues. The Kraken's alternate captain is taking a hands-on approach to his leadership in order to help turn this team around in the second half.
They call him a man possessed.
Schwartz in front. They score!
Jaden Schwartz had a run of 6 points in the final 4 games to finish the 2024 calendar year. It was the spark needed to turn this team around and light the inspirational fire beneath his teammates.
Schwartz with a shot, stop, the rebound, they score! Jaden Schwartz wills it home!
Personally, I wasn't, exactly happy with how the games were going, and we had a good run there. And then I think probably 10 days before the break, we didn't really hit our game and play the way we needed to win games. So, it was frustrated. It was just kind of anxious to get going again, and excited to get on a stretch here and hopefully get back into the playoff mix a little bit and gives ourselves a better chance.
While he's one of the alternate captains in the room, Schwartz has always been more of a silent leader. He let his impressive play speak for him, and the Kraken knew to follow suit.
I think we all just felt it. We were frustrated, and it's not very fun when you know that you aren't playing up to your potential. So yeah, I think we all just kind of felt it, and we're ready to get back going.
Schwartz knows what it feels like to play below a team's potential. His 2018-19 St. Louis Blues team began the second calendar year with the worst record in the entire league. They then went on to rattle off an 11-game win streak and eventually lift the Stanley Cup.
It's exciting to be able to play up to your potential and play the way that we need to play to win, and just playing for each other and sacrificing and doing the little things for one another, and just caring about winning at the end of the day. So once you get some momentum going your way, and it's just something that you want to keep doing and keep building, and get on a good stretch.
And the Seattle Kraken get this 4-game homestand started off on the right foot.
That miracle run is something he said he looks back on when he needs to draw inspiration for these tougher stretches.
You think back to how other years were, maybe learning experiences that you can take with you going forward, but most of the time you're just focused on right now and looking to improve and get better, and kind of focus on the task at hand.
Another chance, stopped again, they score! Jaden Schwartz in the right place at the right time.
Coming up on Kraken Home Ice, we're talking to head coach Dan Bylsma about players he's been impressed with through the first half of the season and what needs to change to secure more wins. And in this week's shootout, the players discuss one of their favorite topics, cars.
Assist of the Week is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
McCann zips it down low, Kako in front, Shane Wright scores!
The assist of the week goes to Kaapo Kakko for his pinpoint pass on Shane Wright's goal against the New Jersey Devils. With the collaboration on Monday, Kakko had assists in consecutive games. Nice work from the newest member of the team. As we approach the midway point of the season, the Kraken have been playing some solid hockey, but head coach Dan Bylsma has been dealing with some injuries to key players. The addition of Kaapo Kakko has helped bolster their offense. Let's bring in Dan Bylsma from the road. And coach, let's start right there with Kakko. He seems to be fitting in nicely.
The trade for Kakko, a second overall pick, a guy who's, started his career at a young age, obviously with the Rangers, and trying to grow into being a big-bodied winger, hold on to the puck, presence at the net, with some playmaking and skill ability that, comes in a big frame like that. Him and around the net, him being able to hold on to the puck in the offensive zone, accents Maddie's skating and puck playability, and Jaden Schwartz has been a benefactor of a lot of those plays. Him scoring goals, but it's a formidable line with his skill, with his big body playing in the offensive zone.
And while Kakko has helped fill a void, you're still dealing with some key injuries.
We've talked about through the first 41, just our consistency is how we want to play, and playing that way 60 minutes every night. We've been searching for that. We've seen it at times. We've seen it through stretches of games. And the injuries, are a part of it. That's a part of it for everybody, but it's a part of it. And come back against Vancouver, win against Utah, shootout loss against Vancouver, and the next game you're stepped out and you are dealing with not having Yanni Gordon in the lineup, and you're not having Lars banged up a bit and not knowing whether he's going to play. Some of those injuries and some of that, let's say not continuity, is just it's the struggle of the teams, what you have to go through. No one's shying away from it. You lose Jordan Eberle for a long period of time. That's part of the game. Other guys have to step in. Other guys have to fill the shoes, and other guys have to get the job done.
Well, despite the injuries, Coach, your players are playing some exciting hockey. They're showing a lot of resiliency on the ice, and they've been involved in some close games. What's the key to getting over that hump and getting some results?
I think you make your results. I think you earn your results. You earn results by the way you play, by how you play, by where you play. You earn referees' calls by playing fast and by playing physical. You earn the calls. You earn opportunities. You earn puck luck by like how you play, and you play it repeatedly over and over again, and you keep playing that way. The bounces will come your way. You will get the puck luck, and you will win hockey games. The game against New Jersey, you think that was a game where we think we have every right to think we could have won that hockey game because of how we played, because of the opportunities we got. We have to say that Markstrom made 4 great saves because of the way we played. Now you got to turn the page and go on to the next one. You make your results, I say. You got to keep consistent. You got to stay on it, and the results will eventually come.
Okay, Coach, let's talk some women's hockey. The Professional Women's Hockey League made a stop in Seattle last week. It was Boston playing Montreal. Some of your players were on hand, and assistant coach Jessica Campbell was also on hand. What's it been like for you to watch her impact on and off the ice?
Our goal, our mission was to get the best coach, to get a coach that can help the guys, and that's Jessica. But take a step back and you take a look at the big picture. It's a big deal for her to be the first. It's a big deal. It was kind of accented with the PWHL game. I hope everyone got a chance to go out and see the game between Boston and Montreal, because it's great hockey. It's an entertaining hockey. It's exciting hockey.
Gaining speed on her backhand.
To give Jess a nod and to give Jess a moment at the beginning of the game, just a symbol as to how big it is that she's the first female coach.
Okay, lastly, Coach, we know you're a Michigan native. We know you're a huge Lions fan. They're the #1 seed in the NFC. A chance to get to their first ever Super Bowl. You got to be excited.
As a longtime Lions fan, I'm in awe. It's almost surreal how, yes, the Lions have somehow turned into America's team, and everyone's behind them. Everyone's talking about them. Even to mention they have a chance to win a Super Bowl, or favorites to win a Super Bowl, or no one's going to be surprised. It's surreal for me. I don't get to see them much, to be quite honest. I watch a box score and stuff, but I'm fascinated by how they have become. They've captured Detroit, they've captured America, and they're now, don't want to put them higher than Kansas City, but they're the team to beat.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll see what happens. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you next week. Last weekend, Team USA took home the gold in the World Junior Hockey Championships. It was the first time in history the U.S. won gold in back-to-back years. Though they didn't take home gold, a few Kraken prospects stood out. One of them, Julius Miettinen of the Everett Silvertips, earned a silver medal with Team Finland. He scored 1 goal and had 1 assist in the tournament. Another standout was Kraken prospect and Coachella Valley Firebird Edward Chalet. He secured the bronze medal for the Czechs with a shootout winner. The Kraken announced this week the team will host a 2-game prospect showcase with the Canucks in September. The games will feature top young players from both teams and will give fans an opportunity to get an up-close look at future Kraken players. The Kraken are only in their 4th year as a franchise, but they're looking back at their top players with the NHL's quarter-century team. It's part of a league-wide 32-team exercise, giving teams a reason to celebrate the best of the franchise to date. The players selected were chosen by members of the local media and Kraken observers. Jared McCann, Jordan Eberle, and Yanni Gord were first-team selections, alongside Vince Dunn and defensive partner Adam Larson, while Joey Decord was selected as the goaltender. The second team includes Jaden Schwartz, Matty Beniers, and Oliver Bjorkstrand, defenseman Jamie Oleksiak and Brandon Montour, and goalie Philip Grubauer. Among the dozen selections, only Beniers, Bjorkstrand, Decord, and Montour were not with the franchise for its opening game. To the shootout now, and this week we're talking transportation. We asked the players about their first car.
My first car was a Ford F-150 single cab, and I spray painted the rims black to make it look a little cooler. It didn't really turn out well.
Acura MDX.
First car was a Jeep Wrangler.
My first car was a Nissan Altima, which was my mom's that passed down to me.
First car, a Ford Explorer.
Jeep Cherokee.
First car was had an Acura 1.7 EL or something like that, yeah.
First car I bought was a Mercedes.
First car was a Chrysler Concorde. Yeah, I had that during high school.
Coming up on Kraken Home Ice, a young girl went viral for swapping friendship bracelets with Kraken coach Jessica Campbell. We'll hear from the youngster and her mom about Coach Campbell's impact. And last week's PWHL takeover was a treat for hockey fans. Now the calls for a professional women's hockey team in Seattle are growing louder. Kraken assistant coach Jessica Campbell has been a trailblazer this season, becoming the first female coach in the NHL. Now she's creating traditions with young fans who look up to her.
That's right. I'm Madison Wade, and I got the opportunity to meet the most adorable 6.5-year-old who might arguably be the biggest fan of Coach Jess. A simple exchange of a friendship bracelet has now created a movement.
There's a lot of Kraken stuff here.
6.5-year-old Zara is taking us on a tour of the Kraken Iceplex.
I don't know, but actually I found some cool stuff today.
It's one of her favorite places in the world.
This is my favorite spot.
Because it has her favorite mascot and her favorite player.
Mighty Beniers.
Zara knows a lot about hockey.
Who is that? What position is that?
A goalie.
Nice.
And the ones that are skating and not the goal are, well, hockey players.
She's also a big fan of Coach Jessica Campbell, as seen on her jersey.
I know she is the only female coach in the game. Well, it's pretty cool.
Recently, Zara got to meet Coach Jess, who gave her a surprise.
I gave her a friendship bracelet, and she gave me some. I think one of them says, "Let's go Kraken," and "Let's go girl." It says "Dream big."
The videos of Zara and the friendship bracelets went viral, and now it's turned into a movement. Coach Jess has made hundreds of these bracelets to give out to little Kraken fans.
I think visibility is so important, like especially for young girls, to see themselves in a place where traditionally they don't belong or haven't belonged. I think that's so important.
She wants girls like Zara to know they belong and they're appreciated.
They can dream of themselves in a sport that they love, where now the opportunity could be there for them, so it really fuels me every day.
They can do anything they dream to be. The dream big is such a great message.
It makes me feel like, well, I think about it that it's really cool.
The Professional Women's Hockey League brought a lot of action to Seattle last Sunday. Boston and Montreal played a heck of a game at Climate Pledge Arena. The game went into a shootout that ended in a big win for the Boston Fleet. Ariel Orsuto talked to fans about their desire to get a professional women's hockey team here in Seattle.
It's more than just a slogan.
We are ready. We are ready for women's pro hockey in Seattle.
Zoe Harris is the founder of Women's Pro Hockey Seattle, a campaign to build a fan base for a future expansion team. It's a rallying cry, but also proof that fans are ready to pack a stadium for quality hockey.
It's just like something I never dreamed of as a little kid, so it's really special to me to see all this. Yeah.
And I think it shows that Seattle can have their own women's hockey team, and we obviously have the people here to support it.
A day to celebrate women's sports came full circle when the puck was dropped at center ice by none other than the first female coach in the NHL, or as we like to call her around here, Kraken coach Jessica Campbell.
And a very special thank you to Jessica Campbell.
Pretty surreal. I mean, I feel like I'm standing there among so many people, or for so many people, for so many other women that have been trailblazing, and it's not about me, it's about this game and the movement and the growth and the change is for good and hopefully for greater opportunities for others.
It's a pretty big honor to be able to come to places like this, rinks like this, cities like this, and have 12,000 fans cheering for two teams that don't even belong to their own city. So I think it's amazing to see. It's a privilege for every single one of us to step on that ice in front of Seattle, and I think we don't take it for granted.
Last Saturday, after the Boston Fleet and Montreal Victoire open practices, young skaters got to learn from some of the league's top talent. Michaela Grant-Mentis and Claire DeGeorge of the Montreal Victoire, along with the Boston Fleet's Sydney Moran, Amanda Pelkey, and Emily Brown, came together for the special Girls Skate Clinic ahead of Sunday's game. Coming up on Kraken Home Ice, there's only one outdoor hockey rink in the state, and a few times a year, it turns into the Great Puckaroo Roundup. We're learning about the Kraken's hockey tournament in the elements. Tucked in the mountains of Winthrop, you'll find a patch of ice unique to Washington. It's the only uncovered outdoor ice rink in the state, which means they play hockey there rain or shine, or in some cases, through the snow.
Everybody comes home with a great story. Whatever the weather does, it's never a problem because it's just sort of fun.
3 times a year, players with all levels of skill gather for an outdoor tournament unlike any other. They call it the Great Puckaroo Roundup.
Go, Phillies! Run them up! Run them up!
The adult hockey tournament put on by the Kraken has been around for 10 years. It was created by Andy Cole, the Kraken's adult hockey director. He saw an opportunity on a trip with his family.
I was going to Winthrop with my family for my little kids to play in the snow, and saw the rink there and thought immediately this would be a great place for a tournament.
Now the tourney is a favorite for many hockey players. Tyler Zetting has been playing in the Puckaroo for 2 years. He calls the experience hockey in its best form.
It's how the game was meant to be played, and you just feel that. You have the cold air, you have, the snow dusting down, and the sun shining through the trees, and it's just unlike playing inside an actual rink.
Since the rink is uncovered and up in the North Cascades, snow during games is common. Last weekend, a game had to be stopped halfway through to shovel the ice off the rink.
Right before we decided to shovel the snow, there's so much snow on the ice you can hardly see the puck.
The tournament draws teams from all over the state to skate, and because of its location, it draws other visitors too.
In Winthrop, there's like eagles flying overhead, there's deer walking by, so there's all these cool things that would just never happen in an indoor rink.
You're just playing the game that you love in this environment, and it's just like frozen in my mind of that memory.
Today was the Kraken's Crystal Mountain Takeover. Fans skiing and snowboarding on the mountain also got to take part in a scavenger hunt. Even mascot Bowie was in attendance for the fun in the snow and to cheer on the team as they took on the Buffalo Sabres. The next time the Kraken play at Climate Pledge Arena will be Saturday, January 18th against the LA Kings. And that'll do it for this episode of Kraken Home Ice. Thanks for looking in. We'll see you next week.
Kraken Home Ice is sponsored by Primera Blue Cross.